Hey everyone, welcome back to day 12 of 12 Days of Christmas Sewing Series. Today is our last tutorial and I truly hope that you have enjoyed all of these little projects that I put together for you. Please let me know below what you think, if you liked the projects, and if you want to see me do more series like this. I would love to hear your thoughts. In today's project, our final project, we have a free pattern from Country Cow Designs. Joe put together this iPad cover and it's a full pattern and she has a full video as well. I stumbled across it when I was searching for tutorials on how to make an iPad cover because my husband Brandon just got a new iPad, so look what I got. I got a hand-me-down iPad and I wanted to make a cute little cover to keep it safe when I travel and, you know, just to have something cute. So I thought that this would be a perfect last project for you guys. You can see I made mine out of all cork. I used Ecolux cork from Fabric Funhouse. I used a spring snap to close it. I edge coated it in this really pretty turquoise minty color. I lined it with this Tula Pink print, and then I used Sew Fuse Plus interfacing from Cast Iron Handcrafted on the back of my cotton fabric here. And then you can see it fits the iPad perfectly. There's even a little bit of room on either side so I can fit my Apple Pencil in there for drawing. And hopefully now that I have an iPad, my very own iPad, I will be bringing you guys some more stickers, so keep an eye out for that. But here we go. I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. Let me know what you think, and I will see you at the end of the video. Okay, so to get started, you need to cut out your main piece. I am using cork. You can see under here. I made the mistake of cutting out these dark boxes first before cutting out my cork, and that made this area very fiddly. So I highly suggest before cutting out the gray boxes, using the template, cut out your pattern piece after you tape it all together and whatnot. And then, so once you get to here, what you do is if you want to add the optional back pocket, you would cut this bottom area out. I believe that would be a trapezoid if I'm correct, but either way you definitely need to cut out this top area because this is what is going to become the entrance for where the iPad will slide into the case. So I'm going to cut those out, and I did cut this one out, but I'm not going to add the pocket along the back. I personally think it's kind of an awkward size. I don't really know what I would put in it besides just like slips of paper. So I'm going to omit that. But it's a nice design because you use this section that you cut out here and put it here. So I think that that's a nice attribute. So you're not wasting any cork at all. This is quite a large cut of cork, but I think it'll be worth it and it'll provide some nice structure given the fact that it's double-sided, especially with the fabric lining. So you can see I've already branded mine here, so this needs to be the back of my cork. So when I flip and make my cut area for this section up here, I need to make sure, you know, keep in mind where your tag or your brand is at, so that way you cut out the right side. So I'm just going to line up all of my corners here, or all my edges rather, and throw some clips on it so that it doesn't move around on me. And then what I need to do is I need to transfer these cut lines here, and I need to cut this area out. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm just going to take my marking pen and transfer these lines. Oops. Okay, so now I need to cut this box out. You do want to be sure that you are keeping your 1/2 inch edges here, because this is what we have to sew to keep our cotton backing in place. And you do not want to trim this down below that 1/2 inch line, because that way, you know, you have enough real estate to sew on once we flip. And then you also have enough room there to either tape it into place or glue it without it getting all weird. Okay, what happened to my scissors? There we go. So I just need to snip my little corners here. I'm gonna have to tighten this edge up. Now in the video, Joe shows you an option where you can use piping, and you would just lay the piping in between the 2 layers of the cork after you fold it, or well, before you fold it, you lay the piping and then you fold it like this, and then the piping is encased in the middle. And I am going to omit that, but it does look really nice if you want to do that. To be perfectly honest, I think it's going to be a challenge, and I just want to make this a quick video for you guys. And I think it's going to look good without that. But if you wanted to add some pizzazz, you could certainly add some piping. And truth be told, I didn't have the color that I really wanted to go with my cotton. Okay, so now I have my slot area cut out. And then I also have my cotton here. I never use the good cotton for myself. So this time I thought, I'm going for it. So I have this really old Tulip Pink print that I've been holding on to for a while. And I used interfacing on it just to give it a little bit of structure. This is the interfacing from Cast Iron Handcrafted. It's the heavy duty. And so what you're going to do is you need to lay it wrong sides together on what will be the back side of the iPad cover, and then glue it. But just to give you an idea, once we do that, then we just fold this up. And it's going to be like that. So this pattern will come together nice and quick. So I'm going to place this fabric to where I have about 1/4 inch gap. I'm going to put some glue on the back of this to hold it in place. Sorry, it sounds like my dog's here or something. Oh, yep. Okay, so a little bit of beacon to hold everything in place for the next steps. I think my dogs are telling your dogs hi. Ooh, that's Clemmy. She never barks. Oh, we got somebody at the door. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, package delivery, but we're back now. Okay, so I have this glued down. And now before I fold this section up to here, I want to talk about the closure options. So in the video, Joe shows you a strap option that the flap would tuck into to keep it closed. She also goes over using a snap or magnetic snap, or you can just leave it without a closure altogether. I am going to use a spring snap only because I do not have rivet or I don't have magnetic snaps that have a nice backing to them. So the reason I'm saying that is because whenever you install your magnetic snap on this side, the back of it is going to show through unless you only put it through your cotton lining, which you totally can do, but it might not be as structurally sound to just put it through the cotton. But so I'm going to use the spring snap because it has these nice caps to them. So yeah, if you are going to use a snap of any sort, make sure that it has a nice back because it will be exposed on both sides. But anywho, let's move on. So I need to mark my placement for my snaps. And I'm not going to worry about installing the flap snap just yet because that one can be done at the very end. But I am going to install the other end of it down here. So that way, whenever I flip this section up to top stitch, it's already in place and I don't have to worry about doing it afterwards. So I'm just going to use the marks that Joe provides on the template piece and mark where my snaps go. There we go. Okay, so this is half of my snap, so I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole right there. Okay. And then now I'm going to set in the bottom half of my spring snap, which if you saw my snap pouch video earlier in this series, then I went over this process of how to set a snap. So I'm not going to go through the steps again. Oh, well, I guess I can. I mean, because I don't know if you're finding this organically and not within the 12 days of Christmas. So anyways, to set a spring snap, you need to have a spring snap die set. It consists of 4 pieces and it should fit into your heavy duty press. I got mine from Gold Star. I also got my die set from Gold Star as well as my spring snaps. I got the 12.5 millimeter or 1/2 inch spring snap die set. And what I've done is I've marked my dies with the number 1 and 2 to correlate with one side of the snap set, and then 3 and 4 with the other side of the snap set. It helps me keep it organized, and you know, I don't use spring snaps a lot, so sometimes I forget whenever I'm using them how to do it. So I have to keep it all marked. But so for this part, I'm going to be doing the inside or the male part of the snap set. And so that's going to take 3 and 4, which is going to be the die set that has the spring on it. And then this guy here that has this male protrusion. And I'm going to put those on my press. And grab the snap or the spring snap set, 1 of each. And what they look like is you have this one piece that has a long post and a flat bottom, like so. And then it goes with this, kind of looks like a little hat. It's got the snap on one side and then the flat bottom on the other. And what you do is you put the little hat on the top die set right here. It snaps right in there. And then I like to take the little flat bottom and you put the flat side on the wrong side of whatever you're attaching it to. Slide it through the hole that you made. And then line it up on your die set and voila. So this is what it looks like now that it's all set in. And these are nice because, whoops, it's just a nice flat edge back here. So the iPad is not going to get caught in this and it's not going to scratch anything. So I'm good to go with that. If you did have concerns about scratching, you could put a piece of interfacing or, you know, whatever you like on the back here. Alrighty, so now that we have that ready to go, what I need to do is I need to flip this bottom part up and I need to adhere it all the way around. And I think I'm going to use tape here just so that it doesn't shift at all in my machine. But you certainly could use glue, but you're just going to have to do it in sections and clip well to make sure that it is all nicely glued and dried in place. You don't want it shifting when you're sewing. So I'm just going to use my 1/4 inch tape. And I'm just going to apply right on the edge of my cotton here, all the way around. And what I'm trying to do is keep it out of my stitch line, if at all possible. Now my machine doesn't really get super mad at me about sewing over tape, but I know a lot of people's machines do. If that's the case, you can try a thicker needle, a longer stitch length, or a different glue or different tape manufacturer. Okay. Okay, so now I have my tape around the entire perimeter. I'm just going to peel off the backing. And then now I'm just very carefully going to line up all of my edges. I'm going to try to do it in a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? Smooth manner, because the tape, my cork might start sticking to the tape. So I'm just going to try to be as smooth as possible, which, knowing me, it'll be chaotic at best. I'm going to start up top, and I'm just really paying attention, making sure that I get all of my edges nice and lined up. And so there we go. So now what we need to do is we need to go around the entire perimeter here and stitch to hold everything in place. So now that we've got it all taped and all of our edges meet up nicely, what we need to do is we need to go to the machine and we're going to stitch all around the perimeter. And then we're also going to stitch around the inside of this cutout too. Now in the pattern, she goes all the way down. She extends. So there's 2 lines of stitching up from the bottom and around. So if you want to do that, you can, or if you wanted to stop right here, you can. If you go all the way down, it'll probably be more structurally sound, because then when you're, you know, applying pressure to this to put your iPad in, it's not tugging on these stitches right here. So 1/8 seam allowance, 4mm stitch length. Okay, so the first stitch line is now done, and now I need to come up and do the inside of my flap. And now Jo talks about how she just moves her needle over. With this machine, I cannot do that. So I'm just going to align the right edge of my zipper foot on the stitch line that I just made and try to keep it straight. And then I'm going to add a couple stay stitches here right at that juncture of where the flap and the opening meet. Here we are all stitched up. You can see I did both of my levels or layers. What am I trying to say? Not layers or levels. Both of my stitch lines. And I did take it all the way down, just like the pattern outlines there. I think on the next one that I make, I will probably add a dummy stitch around or just along this bottom section here, just so that it's a cohesive in look. And then the other thing is it's, you know, it's nice. It has a nice thickness to it with the back because the cotton has the interfacing, but this side of the iPad cover feels like significantly thinner than this side, obviously. So I think I would possibly consider lining the whole thing with cotton, or maybe interfacing, or, you know, maybe just doing 2 layers of cork. I don't really know. I'm not sure what would be cost, you know, the best cost wise, but just saying my thoughts out loud. So now we need to add the other end of the spring snap. And so for this one, we're going to switch out our die set to the one that has a flat area and then this recessed male die, also known as 1 and 2. So you install or set those up in your press. And you need to get the spring snap set. And so this one looks like this. This one has the flat back button side, and then it also has the actual button that's going to adhere to the snap that we set down here. And so you're going to take this little snap part, and you can hear it, listen. It clicks into this die set up there. And then I'm gonna take my button, and from the right side out, I'm gonna lay the button into place. You can see here it is sticking out. And now you lay this with the flat disc laying in that die. Apply pressure, and voila. So now we have one completed iPad cover. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is trim up. And then because I didn't do piping, I'm gonna add a fun and funky edge coat color. That's it, friends. That is it. That concludes our 12 days of Christmas and all of our projects. I hope that you made every single one of them. Let me know what your favorites were. Let me know if you have any questions about any of them and if I need to expand, or, you know, if you would like to see some more iterations of any of them. Please just let me know your thoughts on this entire series. And I hope that you enjoyed our final project of the Country Cow Designs iPad cover. And that's about it. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that if you celebrate, or whatever you celebrate, any of the upcoming holidays or none at all, I hope that you have a fantastic end of the year. I truly appreciate you being here with me all year, and your interaction and support really is appreciated. I sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.